So for this video, it's going to be broken up into two sections. Okay, I'm not going to talk like that. This video, I'm going to have it broken up into two sections. So the first section is going to be no commentary, no cuts, walking around kind of like this. Probably going to have the HUD off, just walking around, exploring the world. It's going to be a bit slower pace, so if you don't really like that kind of style, then I'm going to put a timestamp here. You can skip to, or you can go to chapters I should have set up for the video. So you can skip ahead to the section where I go around, talk about certain things, kind of maybe for things I built, why I built them the way I did, or just talk about some details of builds or kind of give some context to things. The commentary section will be cut up to kind of jump around from places so you don't see me walking to and from places as much, just to kind of cut down on the time, because this video is already going to be probably close to an hour long. So yeah, see you in the no commentary section. Hey guys, so I know that last section was pretty long, so this section I'll try and keep it short. I'll probably do a few cuts around just so you don't have to watch me walk from place to place. I'm going to roughly go through the same areas I showed in the no commentary section, but I'm going to try and at least say something about each of the areas so then there's a little bit more context there rather than just showing a building. There's no story behind it in that situation, but in this section I'm just going to try and do that. So obviously here we just kind of have a well in this area. This entire area was a village from spawn, and spawn's over here. That's why I started over there with the no commentary section, but this whole area was just a vanilla village right next to spawn, and so we decided that we kind of wanted to settle here, also mainly because I wanted to at least settle in the house, and then other people also thought it was a good idea, so we all kind of based near each other. Over here, this is a little just villager breeding kind of building. Very temporary, gonna be moved in the future. We'll probably have something else here that might do a similar function, but hopefully won't, look as ugly as just a stone brick box just sitting there. But it's just very temporary to make sure that we're able to have enough villagers to actually repopulate the village once we get it to a standard that we like. Because right now it's not many houses kind of populating this area. And over here, as I walk through this in the no commentary section, this is just kind of a rundown house that kind of the goal behind making it is, or well, the kind of thought process is that this used to be a home, kind of like these regular villager houses here, that happen to be like more like impoverished, and then the city planners had decided to make this bridge across here, but this home was here, and instead of just demolishing it, they just added these kind of supports onto the home, and not really much else was actually done to improve that home itself, so it just continued to weather away in time. And so inside we just have kind of like roast coming. Obviously we have some dripping from these supporting logs in the ceiling. Got boarded up windows. It's just a whole rundown place. And then back here, just a little alleyway. And this is Assigned Canine's kind of industrial house added to all this. I showed it before, but I didn't really go talk about kind of like some of the details that are around. Like, for example, obviously we have this kind of like conveyor system that kind of looks like it's coming in and out to pick up slime to be able to move into the base, or alternatively, if you want to think of it, it's like that there's like kind of industrial waste being dumped into here. This redstone block kind of looks like it's kind of like dipping into this. One thing I like about this base is the use of the copper blocks that'll be coming in the next update that we have on the server. The inside has a lot of detail as well. Like, all the base, like, kind of essentials and stuff are in the base, but are kind of hidden. Actually, I love the use of furnaces here. Kind of, like, add a little bit of extra detail to these stairs going up, but also, if you needed to, I guess, you could also use them for smelting stuff. But everything that you would kind of want to use, for example, like a bed or something, has been, like, kind of, like, hidden away, but still here, so then they don't take away from the whole, like, style of the build. And obviously down here is the tunnel into the starter house that I made, and I'll show that just 1 second. I just want to show some of the outside a little bit more here. I like the use of all the brick, and I think the brick goes pretty well with the oxidized copper. And also, obviously, the deep slate goes very well with it too. And over here, this is a little starter house that I made at the very beginning. Now I'm gonna say I'm not too much of a builder, so it's obviously not much in comparison to that, but I think I did pretty good on it, for my standards at least. Because most of the time when I play, I usually focus on just building farms. Decorating and building in a way that's like pleasant to look at is not really something I'm very used to, so this server I kind of wanted to try and experiment with building more so to decorate. And so back here, just a composter setup. Over here, it's just like a little like kind of like garden on the side of the base. inside here, the main thing I wanted to focus on in here is that there's a little elevation change here that I personally think kind of makes it look a lot more interesting than if it... Kind of just imagine if this was all flat, it would look a lot more boring than it currently does. The sleeping areas, just like for mine, is all the way up here, just to make it also just a little bit more kind of like, I don't know, personality to the base, having this little like overhang over this door to walk out to the side. I keep forgetting, but in the future I might build a little flower garden here. But my favorite part of this base, personally, is the little basement here. And the main reason is because I find it really fun to to mess around just bouncing up and down with this. I didn't really go and show the redstone, but it's really simple. It's just let me see if I can go to it. It's just simply this button presses, it activates and releases this. It turns off this redstone torch, which opens this, and then on a slight delay, this gets pushed up. The sticky block, this, slime block gets pushed up? Yeah. The slime block pushes up and launches you upwards. And then with the same thing, once that button turns off, there should be enough timing, I believe, on it that it will, this catches you, like, pretty much at the perfect time. Over here, another thing that I love about this base is the super smelter. So basically, you just go over to your smeltable chest, you smack something in there you want to smelt, and each of these lights represents 3 furnaces. So it's not like the biggest super smelter you've ever seen before, but I like it. It's a 12 furnace super smelter, so it's just kind of each of these lights represents 3 furnaces. So say you put in 9 items, only 3 of these lights will end up turning on, and also it's a decent way to diagnose if something has gone wrong in the design. For example, if I put in 12 items and all 4 of these don't turn on, that means there might not be enough coal in this last furnace, or for some reason the minecart hopper is not picking up enough stuff. Over here, just some maintenance tunnels so I can get into the super smelter. I think I over-detailed this section a little bit because I'm really the only one who might be going in here to fix up stuff. This area, just kind of wanted to mesh it so it kind of look like it's a cave mixed with like this pipe coming through to have like kind of like, I imagine this like a coolant for the super smelter. And this is just some lighting. In here, obviously not decorated, it's just a bunch of messy redstone. These observers are what detects whether this furnace is turned on or off, which toggles these copper lights, and there we go. As all of them finish smelting, all these lights turn off. For getting the stuff to it, it's just some hopper minecarts that run across to provide the input that gets smelted and the fuel on the back. And they just continuously just keep doing that over and over again. And for collecting, what I wanted to do is use some droppers, which when they get filled up with any items, they will automatically let me show how this circuit works real quick. So once this detects any items, this will come up and it'll be able to power the dropper itself, so it releases the item. And then back here as well, this redstone will come here, power this, which also powers this repeater, which kind of like resets the comparator, I believe. I believe this design, I forget exactly what video I saw it in. I think I saw it in a Mumbo Jumbo video, and I used it before and I liked it, and so I kind of can't stop using it. So I'm sure there's probably better ways of doing it at this point, but that's just the one I know, and that's the one I'm comfortable using all the time because I know how to build it, so I just do that one all the time. And then obviously it just gets in a water stream. Everything you smelt just comes in this chest, you take it, and you go on your way. Oh yeah, and here's the tunnel I was talking about that connects the 2 bases. Over here is just a barracks area. I just want to add it in case there's other people that may need to sleep and happen to be in the basement, or just at the starter house that I made. There's this area here, but also I just kind of like this room. I'm not sure. There might be something I want to change about it, like maybe adding some more color to this area. Because this area, I like with um, these copper blocks that are oxidized. I like how those look, but maybe some more color over there. Not sure. And that's basically it for this base. And there's also this tunnel that in the future will connect to the next base I'm showing. So this is Smellborp's base. Smell. Yeah. So this is their base, and not finished, obviously. But in the future, hopefully, they'll have a basement that will be able to connect up to this one. This is where we just had our enchanting set up for the local area. Over here, just a basic farm, decorate a little bit, again using more of the new copper blocks just because I like them a lot, especially the copper bulbs. I love those bulbs. This I showcased this, but this is just a simple kind of like bone meal grower. I've seen some people use some things similar to this. I don't know if they do exactly this. I'm pretty sure they probably have something better, but this is just kind of a simple setup that I threw. I'll probably move this in the future, but for now I just kind of use this to grow carrots so I can feed the villagers. In here, I can show this. So let me go get some dirt real quick. Alright, so this building that I kind of showcased, I kind of walked through a little bit, but I didn't really showcase what it does. This is a mud making machine, or kind of mud making factory, kind of. I don't know. You can call it whatever you want. But basically how it works is you just get a shovel that's not going to insta-break it or break it super quick. I like to use an iron shovel, and you just place it. Once this is placed, this redstone will power through to the other side. I don't know if I have it so it's actually able to be shown, but it'll come through. It'll power on this side, and this dispenser will then turn it into a mud block. And so you just kind of keep doing that. And you just hold left click and right click, so you just keep breaking and placing. It keeps getting turned into mud. And you keep doing that until you have pretty much as much mud as you want. There's one flaw with this design, is that it's a design that refuels itself, so any glass bottles that are in here get through this item filter, which then go down. I believe this probably could be more compacted, but it's just kind of what I quickly threw together in survival, just kind of trying to make up a design on the go. But it goes down. This dispenser shoots it downwards into this water line, which goes to another dispenser, which I could probably just have one dispenser doing all this instead of having it go into another one. But anyways, then this goes back up, goes to this chest, which fills up, which this gets fed into the dispenser. That turns into mud, obviously. And so, since it takes a little bit of time for it to refill, you only really can get 2 stacks before it'll start putting water bottles and stuff in here, or just regular bottles, and you'll end up getting dirt, and then it's kind of a whole mess. And back here is just a clay drying area. So if you're making mud and you want clay for terracotta or trading with villagers or something, or just the block itself to decorate, this is what this is for, and it's just clay on top of dripstone with stalactites. Up here is just kind of like a campsite, kind of like nature reserve kind of area. There's probably gonna be a little bit more stuff, more decorations in the future, but for now, there's a pond over there. There's a little hot tub, kind of. There's a campfire, a little tent. It's just kind of like a nice little, kind of like outdoors area. Give it a little bit more life to this top part of this mountain. And obviously, over here, we have the bridge, which I showcased a lot throughout the no commentary section. And this bridge was kind of made to connect this little mountain to the other mountain over here. And the reason being is because Spidey 2 Lit is based over there, and it's been kind of a hassle to go down the mountain, climb up the mountain. So we kind of just have a bridge that connects the rough, high points of the mountain, I guess. And so you don't really have to go all the way to the bottom, and it's a lot safer going across this bridge than going through the lower area, which it's lit up, but not fully. Over here, he has a village They starting to build. Some buildings aren't fully finished. It's more of a new thing, just a village getting set up. Some foxes running around. In here. Oh. I think one of the villagers... Oh, I think one of the villagers opened the door. That makes sense. So, down here is his kind of like animal sanctuary, is what he calls it. So, in here you got polar bears, got horses, got a donkey, got axolotls, got some tropical fish that are in here. Over here, got wolves, parrot, got bees, got little farm set up in here. In here, chickens, cows, all the likes, all of the animals. Well, not all of them, but soon to be. Out here, there's some cats, and this is his sacred birch tree, which he protects with all these animals. And over here, we have Papa Hat's floating islands and his pit, respectively. It's kind of like it got lifted out of the pit, so the pit kind of matches the islands in the places where like it's come up pretty much, including like ores and stuff. Over here we've got his... we're just gonna move past that. We're just gonna... Oh yeah, wait. You gotta look at the celebrity. I looked at him in the no commentary, but I did not go up to him. This is... Pit Pig. Pit Pig. It's just kind of a pig that's been there in the pit ever since it started getting excavated. Up here, so far, there's not much that's on the island, except for some chests and stuff. But in the future, there might be, like, a house or something up here, maybe, like, a farm, who knows. But so far, it's just this island, and you can kind of look over to everything else over there, so it's kind of cool. And to get down, you just drop off this. And it's just along the river, and it's kind of, it's a little bit of a little bit of a walk, but it's not super far from the rest of the village. This is Jorgen the Jorgen's base. I know it's a strange name for a strange man, but this is his base. It's kind of like a spruce little like village kind of being built right next to this jungle, and between this jungle and this birch forest. It's on this kind of man-made islands with these channels coming through, cutting the land apart, so this is kind of its own separate islands. It's got some pretty nice buildings. This well here, which would be probably for maybe in the future some villagers here. Maybe these will just be houses, who knows. Got these houses. I think this house might be a little bit unfinished, or I don't know if this I don't know if the pit is meant to be there. Got the bridge there, got a dock, and then down here is, I believe, where his kind of like starter base was, which is just down in the sludge cave. I don't know if he plans on doing more buildings down here or integrating it with the stuff up there, but he's got a map here that showcases his local area a little bit. He's got an interesting enchanting setup. He's got farms over there. And then down here, I believe he's got sugarcane. And that should be most of it for this area. Right here, we've got our kind of basic skeleton XP farm, also bone farm, kind of. So, the skeletons spawn at the spawner. I think everyone's seen one of these before. They spawn at the spawner, water pushes them over, and then they fall down onto this stalagmite, and then you just come over and you go, shing, you slash them up, and I could showcase it real quick. I'm going to turn this light off, and I'll show you why in a second. They get killed. There's a hopper minecart here. I would break this block, but it would get picked up by the hopper minecart. This hopper minecart picks up the items before they hit the ground, preferably. Then they get down this big hopper line here. Go to this dropper, which has the same kind of circuit that I showed before. This then shoots out here. They fly along here, go here. This goes up to this bubble column. That bubble column goes all the way up over here to these item filters. So they go along here, the item filter detects and says, okay, is this a bone? And then it's like, nope. If it's not, it goes all the way over into this fire, gets burned. Because I don't really need arrows or anything like that, so I mainly want to get the bones for bone blocks and bone meal. So it goes up, then it goes across. If it's bone, it'll be able to go into this hopper, and that will give it enough of a, enough, like, being full, I guess, is the way to put it, for it to be able to go here and deactivate this redstone torch, which will allow it to flow down into this chest, and then into this chest, and then eventually into this bottom chest. And the reason I have all these chests is just in case someone like AFKs overnight. This should be of enough storage for the farm. And what that button did, so let me showcase it real quick. This button, when pressed, it'll make it so bones from here get moved out of it. And where they go is down into these auto crafters. So the button just turns off, go back here real quick. The button turns off this redstone torch, which was locking the hopper below the bone chest. So now bones can flow down into this auto crafter. And this auto crafter uses a very similar setup to the auto dropper, except it has it on subtract mode here. And the reason being is that this is outputting a signal strength of 8. And so, because it's filled with like 30 something blocks, this outputs a signal strength of 8, which then makes it so this needs a signal strength of 9 to be able to output at least 1 redstone strength. So then, once it's able to fully fill up this, which since it's already like 8 of them are locked, it just needs 1 bone, then it'll come through. This will power here, which then this also locks this, so then it can reset, kind of. And then this powers this target block, which then powers the crafter. That crafter then outputs bone meal, which then shoots into this crafter, which also has it, so it needs to be fully filled. And so since this isn't locked, once another bone comes in here, it'll be filled up. That gets shot down into this water stream, which connects directly to the water stream for the items. And the reason I did that is just because I didn't want to have to mess around with more hoppers than I needed to. So then it also comes into the same water stream that has the item filters, and there's just an item filter for bone blocks. And the reason I have this at all is because it's just more efficient to store bone meal and bone blocks than it is to store it in bones. And the final thing we're going to be looking at here is my little basic slime farm. And now I'm not one for like, big flying slime machines because I don't really know how to build them that well. But, I kind of needed some slime so I can make the... And so I built this. It's probably not the fastest, but it definitely gets some slime balls. So it's good enough for what I need it for. In the future I might expand it down lower, because I believe they could spawn down to Y51. And so I may expand it down a little bit lower. I'm gonna admit something. I used chunk base to go find a slime chunk, and then I started digging it out, and I got really lazy and I didn't want to dig it out, so I figured this would be easier to build. And I think it was. I think admittedly it was. I kind of ran out of cobblestone halfway through, so I used dirt. Inside of it, let me see if I can... I don't have any tinted glass on me, so we're gonna do this the really advanced way. No one's ever seen this before. We're gonna just go inside here. It's just a bunch of brown mushrooms, and the reason is, if you look on the left, I'll have it highlighted, on brown mushrooms, they provide a block light level of 1, so literally directly on top of it, there's 1 block light. So if I broke this one, now there's 0. If I put it back, then now there's 1. And the reason this is important is because in swamp biomes, slimes will spawn from like 0 to 7 light level, I think, while mobs need 0 light level exactly to spawn. So no like hostile mobs will spawn in here, just slimes. and they jump towards the iron golems in the middle, and then either the iron golems will smack them, and they'll slowly break down, and then eventually they'll come down to the magma blocks here, and they'll die. This hopper minecart just goes around, picks up their stuff. A really basic hopper unloader. I think this is probably like the most compact you can do for this. Maybe, I don't know. But let me see if I can showcase it real quick here. So let's wait for him to go back around, and I'll showcase it. So how it works is, say this hopper minecart came over and went, ooh, slime balls, let me pick those up. This will come over here, and this will detect how much stuff is in this minecart. And so it'll send this piston out, which will block it so it can't go down further and go back along the line until it's completely empty. So it just makes it so it won't have to do so many runs back and forth, because the kind of transfer rate between hopper minecarts and regular hoppers is just kind of bad, because hoppers are slow. So this is going to have to go back and forth like a billion times before it fills up, and then that means that there's going to be slime that ends up not getting picked up by this hopper if it starts producing a lot of slime. And so yeah, that's the reason behind that. In the future, I'm probably going to decorate this more, just to make it look nicer. Maybe have an extra building with it that crafts it into slime blocks using the new crafter. And yeah. And that's everything so far on the server. Everything pretty much built. There's some stuff I haven't showed, like some trail ruins that we excavated, some like ocean ruins we excavated, stuff explored obviously, but if I went and I showed all that, it might be like 2 hours long, this video, and an hour's long enough for me. I don't have, I wouldn't say I have a super short attention span, but I wouldn't say my attention span's long enough for making 2 hour long content. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to show on this server. In the future, I might do some more stuff, like making some shorter videos showing off individual builds. Maybe just some stuff of some funny moments with me and my friends on the server. Who knows? But yeah, I'll see you guys.